I'm just trying to remember what month it is, meeting of the Paducah Independent Board of Education to order. Madam Secretary, would you call the roll, please?
Well, we're going to let Angelique do her part.
Okay,
Just turn it over to Angelique. She's got this.
gotcha. We've got it. So this is Angelique Hernandez, student board member and board chair for an evening.
Good evening. Thank you all for coming this evening. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Madam Secretary, would you please call the roll?
Sure. Dr. Katy.
Here.
Ms. Hancock. Here. Ms. Howard.
Here.
Dr. Laboon.
Here.
Ms. Watkins. Here.
Madam Secretary, have we reached a quorum this evening?
Yes, we have.
I believe we have need to amend tonight's agenda to add additional contracted payments to items 5.10 and 5.14. I need a motion to approve the agenda with these additions.
I move we approve the agenda and amend.
I need a second.
I second.
Are there any questions or comments? Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Dr. Katy.
Yes.
Ms. Hancock.
Yes.
Ms. Howard.
Yes.
Dr. Laboon.
Yes.
Ms. Watkins.
Yes. Booker, will you please lead us in the pledge?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'd now like to recognize our special guest with us here with the board tonight for the annual Bobby L. Jones Future School Board Members Program. Serving on the Board of Education in 2002, Mr. Jones had the original idea of having students serve as future board members so they could see the process and learn how to become a board member. Community service was his passion. After he passed away in 2004, our board named the program in honor of Mr. Jones as a fitting memorial. Our Family Resource Service coordinators work together to assist the board and to see that it has continued in his name. Peyton, can you please introduce our student board members?
Our students were selected by their school administrators this year to show leadership and potential and interest in civic engagement. From Clark, we have Booker Blackman and McKinley Wilkinson. From Morgan, we have Olivia Eskridge and Elliott Snow. From McNabb, Magnolia Sperlin and Aram Edgy. And from Paducah Middle, we have Gabriella Ross and Aaliyah Bennett. And from Paducah Tillman, Angelique Hernandez and myself, Peyton Fowler. Holt Shisley was unable to attend as he is on the American Studies trip to Washington, D.C. Holt and Angelique are also on the junior board, serving at every meeting this school year.
Thank you, Angelique. We now want to welcome Heather Anderson, who has, thank you, Peyton, for a special proclamation for us.
Might I see said proclamation? Yeah. I only have one. It's on his purple folder right there. Sign it. That's it.
Seal of proclamation.
Do you want to read it
I'll
or?
let you read it.
Okay,
You
cool.
can-
I'll make it faster. What'd you say? Oh, and everybody, this is Katy Adreon. She is our new student success advocate in the Homeless Services Office. And our board has agreed to proclaim that November is Homeless Youth Awareness Month. I'm going to give you these. And I will very, very quickly read this. Whereas every child deserves a safe, stable, and nurturing environment in which to learn and grow, and whereas an increasing number of students in our community and across the nation face the challenge of homelessness, including lack of consistent shelter, food insecurity, and limited access to basic resources, and whereas youth experiencing homelessness often struggle with academic achievement, emotional well-being, and social connection, yet demonstrate remarkable resilience and determination, and whereas Paducah Public Schools is committed to ensuring that all students, regardless of housing status, have equitable access to education, support services, and opportunities for success, and the last whereas, and whereas raising awareness about youth homelessness is essential to mobilizing community support, reducing stigma, and fostering partnerships that provide critical resources and advocacy for affected students and families, Now therefore be it resolved that the Paducah Public Schools Board of Education does hereby proclaim the month of November as Homeless Youth Awareness Month at Paducah Public Schools. And we ask that educators, students, our community partners all band together and think hard about our students experiencing homelessness. Last year we served 250, and this year we are around 150 and increasing every day. So thank you. And this is for you to sign,
Take it with you.
and I'm going to take it with me and hang it up. Put your date on there too.
Can we scan that for us? Or leave it on this one?
Oh, yeah. And we have books for all of our board members. We have about 150 educators who are participating in a book study with this incredible book. I got to meet the author, amazing person. Sorry, young board members. Betrayed you. Thank you. There you go. And thank you all for doing this. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming. Before I hand this back to Gabrielle, if I could just say two quick things. I don't know if you all heard her, Heather, but she said that last year we served 250 kids who had experienced homelessness last year, and this year we're at 150. And the first time, that I heard some of those numbers when they were presenting Head Start data or some of that other data, I was sort of blown away by the size of that number. So I just wanted to point that out. If it kind of flew past everybody, that's a lot of kids, and that's a lot of need. And it would be, I can't imagine going to work every day trying to, continue in the existence that I go through work-wise while having home insecurity. And I can't imagine what it's like for a young child who, may be elementary school, middle school, high school, trying to navigate those difficulties. So we really appreciate the work of your program, and I hope you guys take opportunities to support that when you have an opportunity to do so. I also want to introduce Jewel Jones, if I could. Jewel is here. Jewel is Bobby Jones' brother.
Yeah.
And this is our Bobby Jones night. And I just didn't know if you wanted to share a few thoughts before we move on with the rest of the agenda.
Well, I'm so proud to be here and so impressed with the students. I appreciate Dr. Shiley continue to making it happen. The students get to approve agendas and make motions, and they look so adultish. So I'm so proud of you guys. And it shows leadership because you had to meet a requirement to get here. So continue to show excellence and continue to be a leader so that you can move forward. But thank you for the opportunity.
Thanks for being here. Gabrielle, I think I took over on one of your points. So if you want to add something in there, feel free to do so. I'm going to hand it back over to you at this point.
Yes, sir. And now we have Mr. Troy Brock for the attendance report.
All right, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I want to report to you our month 2 attendance, which is including September 3rd through September 30th. That included 19 instructional days. And so as we kick off into the attendance report, I'd like to start off with our monthly attendance percentages. And you can see on the screen the graph showing you how we are progressing from month 1 to month 2. I want to give some highlights, letting everybody know where each data point lies therein. That's 96.82% at Clark Elementary School, 95.77% at Morgan, 95.66% at McNabb, 95.51% at Paducah Middle School, 92.14% at Tillman, and 88.12% at Choices. So you can see there's a nice cluster right there at 95.5%, which is a great figure to have. I do want to give a shout out and recognition to Choices Alternative. You can see they went from 83.69% in month 1 up to 88%. That's a 4.43% jump in 1 month. So doing some good things there. Kudos to the teachers, staff, and students there at Choices. And just something I found out recently that I was like, you know what, I want to highlight the achievement that they've come through is Paducah Middle School. And looking at their attendance last year and where they were at month 2 to this year where they are, they jumped up 1.24% in attendance. That doesn't sound like a lot, but when you get to that point of you hit that 95% mark, between 94 and 95%, it's very, very hard to even inch out. You know, every 1/10% of attendance is very difficult. They call it that the law of diminishing returns. It's like the more you get up closer to your goal, the harder it is to just eke out that last bit. And so that's a big jump for Paducah Middle School. They're doing some amazing things with their Student Affairs Committee and looking at heavily focusing on attendance and responding to those attendance needs. So I definitely want to give a shout out and kudos. And I'd like to, I'll get with our food service coordinator. I'd like to do something special for the kids at both Choices and Paducah Middle School with our food service coordinator. Moving on to enrollment. As you can see, we went from total last month 2,761 to 2,777. So an increase of 16 students overall. And so where we see a lot of those numbers is we're down a little bit at Tillman. That's the biggest chunk of the pie that you see right there. But I do want to point out that just in month 2 alone, 10 students finished their graduation requirements and were able to move on. So big shout out to Tillman and making those efforts and getting students high school, get their college and career ready and have their diplomas. What we're seeing obviously here is a trickle up. And so not really certain as to why we're seeing this, but we're certainly welcoming of it because our growth factor this year is not going to be there. But next year, of course, looking at this year as a baseline, looking at next year when we do growth factor, that number should improve. And then finally, the attendance information, the wall of numbers here that you see. What I want to focus on are the attendance percentage column. Pardon me. And letting everybody know that we've seen some overall increases across the board. Up 0.2% at McNabb, up 0.14% at Morgan, down just a little bit at Clark at 0.12. As I was mentioning, Paducah Middle School up 1.24%, Tillman down 0.32%, and Choices from last year, that's from last year to this year, is 6.08%. So some great increases there. And when you look at our adjusted ADA, that's these columns right in here, then you can see that we are down overall ADA for the month, and that has a lot to do with, almost completely to do with our decrease in enrollment. We are down 82 students from where we were last year. And then cumulatively, you can see the difference. And again, that's all a factor of enrollment because our attendance is at 95.05%. And we are up from 94.5 to 94.7. So we're up last year to this year 0.2%. Like I said, every little bit is we're clawing and fighting for that, and it is hard to make those gains, but we are making them. So any questions for the board, from the board?
So just for the students and for the people with attendance, ADA is average daily attendance. And you were saying that translates to our money, is that right?
Absolutely it does, yes.
Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, so when you look at average daily attendance, how that is translated is that every day the students are in attendance, they are generating those days, of accumulating those days towards the funding. So at the end of the year, we take all of the days every student earned by just showing up every day and take that out of the total number of days that they were enrolled, and that ends up giving us our percentage of attendance there, the average daily attendance.
And the state gives us money based on our ADA.
Yes, on that number, right.
So the higher the ADA, the more money we're going to get for the school district.
Absolutely.
So if students are attending, I mean, you have to attend class to be able to learn for yourself, but you also have to be able to attend class to help garner more resources, not just for yourself, but for the rest of the students that you're in the school district with. So Any thoughts from the students or any suggestions that you guys have to help us promote attendance across our school district, please make sure you communicate those to your principals, to Dr. Shively, and to other folks, because our goal really is 96%, right? I mean,
That's our district-wide goal, is 96%.
and we don't expect to be able to get 100 probably, because people shouldn't come to school when they're sick.
Absolutely.
But we just don't want them coming to school only when they're sick. And I mean, on all the other days.
Yeah, if you're well, then certainly, yeah, then be here, absolutely.
Yeah, so if you guys, you may not have any suggestions. If you have a suggestion right now, you're welcome to say it, but if you don't, you think of one later, please pass it on to your administrators.
Absolutely, love to hear from you. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brock. And next we have Ms. Kristy Lewis with Paducah Head Start.
Good evening. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're all here. I love presenting in October. October is Head Start Awareness Month, and we have been recognized by Governor Beshear. You can see one of our precious preschoolers there. We went up to Frankfurt last week, and we're there for that proclamation. So we're very excited about what's going on at Head Start. Want to share some enrollment with us. I usually am here to tell you that we're fully funded, and I'm so excited. However, we're short 5 students right now. Our family advocates and our staff have been working very hard to get the word out, but we have five open slots in our Head Start. So the federal government funds us for 237 students, and right now we're at 232. And so I've listed our recruitment efforts from the last time that we were here. We had asked for some help and guidance on what else we can do. So that's some of the efforts that we have done. But word of mouth is the best advertising. So parents that are here in the audience, if you know anybody 3 or 4 years old and are looking for a spot for preschool, we still have full day and half day spots open. A few numbers, because these are pretty eye-opening for us this year. We completed 270 screenings. Part of preschool is we want to see developmentally where a child is, and after that we take that information and a child works in the classroom with our research-based curriculum. In 2023 we had 47 students in RTI, which is response to intervention, so supports to help the child learn. In 2024 we had 52 at this time of year. Currently, we have 70 students receiving RTI, and more than half of those students that are receiving RTI, it's in the area of speech and language. When we zero in on those language skills, it's naming basic items, it's language when a parent reads to a child at home. So our focus and push for having children reading at home, having parents read to their children, is very important to us. We are part of our school district's literacy grant, and we're using a new screener called Kelly, and so that has given us more data to pinpoint the exact skills that children need. So all of the children that are in RTI won't necessarily go on to a referral for special education, but it allows us to individualize the education they're getting at Paducah Head Start. So our children with disabilities, currently we have 17 in a referral testing process. We have 27 students that have an IEP. So I share with you all the time that Head Start is not just the in-classroom education, but we have strong partnerships with Dr. Gibson and the Eye Center. And this year we have included School Smiles. They come on site and do dental screenings and exams right there on site. So part of those comprehensive services in supporting school readiness is a child and family's health. When we were talking about, when Ms. Anderson was talking about our homeless numbers, of those 200, and I forgot the exact number she said, 42 of those children are Head Start families and children. This is our beginning of the year data. So our teachers will be doing our data day this coming Friday. When I look at this, when I look at on the left-hand side, children that are below in social emotional development, 114 of our children are in a below expectation. So this is on a national norm. So as we are working towards school readiness for children, we have to meet them at that social emotional focus first before we can even talk about the academics. You can also see that we have 117 that are below in language skills, and you can see the other data that's on there. I am excited to share though the children that are meeting, sorry, I went too fast there, that are meeting in the other areas. So when we're looking at the skills that our children are succeeding in, we have a lot of celebrations there. We take an agency assessment, so when a child goes to kindergarten, you have to have the advanced kindergarten readiness exam. Well, we know that we need a benchmark so that we know how we're preparing our children for kindergarten. This is our only 4-year-old data, and as an agency, this is where we're starting. Board members, y'all all have this data that you can take back and look, and at our next meeting, I'm happy to go through this and share the growth. So this is just our baseline information. We take our agency data and we are doing targeted support and school readiness for family engagement. Every 2 weeks, we will have our RTI focus groups and use these 2 learning kits. One is a language and literacy, one is a math and school readiness. These 2 kits will be provided to every family that attends each session. So whether they come to the language or the math, we're training families on how to equip them to teach these language and literacy skills at home, but we're also giving them the resources because we find a lot of times you'll have this, but you might not have the materials at home. So we're hoping that families will take advantage of coming every 2 weeks and sitting down and discussing what we can do to support school readiness at home. And thank you so much. Here's some of our precious babies that we love every day, and we're so excited that we have the opportunity to partner with families. We do let families know they're their child's first and most important teacher, so we come alongside them to support school readiness, but we also know we have a long way to go to help prepare them for school. Any questions?
Yeah, I have one on that targeted support. Is that the first time you guys have done that?
It is not. For the past 3 years, Miss Tiffany Brown, she's our previous disability coordinator, she focused on our children with special needs, our children with exceptionalities. And so we targeted them to provide them schedules at home, to provide them resources in the community to support a child with disabilities. However, this is our first time to do a targeted for our RTI focus groups. Yes, ma'am. Any other questions?
I have one,
Yes,
that's
sir.
okay. In addition to the work you're doing here with the Head Start program, have you added anything else to your responsibilities recently?
A little bit.
Can you explain what that is?
Yes, sir, thank you. Governor Bashir recently appointed me to be a part of the Governor's Office of Early Childhood Task Force. So we meet quarterly.
So in that yeah, it's a big deal to have our Head Start director as a part of a governor's task force to help guarantee early childhood education for the.
I'm really excited. I'm very passionate about early childhood, so anything we can do to elevate that. But we've always said the West is best, so anything we can do to elevate what goes on in early childhood in Western Kentucky. You know, I always go back when we're talking about early childhood and thank the board and Dr. Shively, because nowhere else has the facilities that we do to support early childhood and prepare children and families for success. So I'm excited just to be a voice to support what's going on here in Paducah.
Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now I hand you the microphone.
Now we go to item 3.1, oral communications from the audience. There is a sign-in sheet at the door. This is an opportunity for the audience to speak on items either on the agenda or not on the agenda. Are there any comments from the audience? If so, please come to the podium and state your name. We will allow 3 to 5 minutes. And if you didn't sign in either, you can still come up and say something. Here right now we're going to move on to the next item on our agenda. Next, we have item 4.0, the consent agenda. Can I please have a motion to approve the items listed on tonight's consent agenda?
I move we approve
I need a second.
the consent agenda.
I need a second.
I second.
Are there any questions from the board? Madam Secretary, will you please call the roll?
Dr. Katy?
Yes.
Ms. Hancock?
Yes.
Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Dr. Levine?
Yes.
Ms. Whiten?
Yes.
Item 5.1, vehicle purchases. The superintendent recommends that the Paducah Board of Education approve the